Into a Nene ass episode for a minute.
Oh, this is going to be a Nene episode, y'all. I am in my friend's business center right now. So I'm in the middle of everything. But we're going to, I'm dedicated, y'all. I'm reporting to you live from Fulton County.
Fulton County?
Fulton County.
Fulton County court document. And actually, this is a Fulton County court document as a legal license plate of the state and county.
I love it. And who gave you that?
Her screen name is Hot Guys SBA, and she's actually my neighbor here in San Francisco, where I also am in the center of everything.
So just to catch up, I went to Jamaica this past weekend. It was amazing.
The photos looked fabulous.
Yeah, we were very active. I climbed the waterfall at this water park. We went to, do you know how to swim? I don't know how to swim.
Okay, did you not see me all summer in the pool?
Yes.
Did you not see me in the ocean on Fire Island?
I forgot.
Me? You're gonna ask me, Pool Rodgers, if I know how to swim?
You were Ursula the Sea Witch, I know. I was expecting you to go into a rendition of Poor Unfortunate Souls, but it's okay.
I gave the Sea Witch laugh when she was coming out of the ocean.
Yes, okay. But yeah, I went to somewhere called the Blue Hole, and it's like a little cliff drop, and it's a 20-foot deep pool of water. But I didn't do that. I was just, spectating. The food was amazing. I had so much jerk chicken. Shout out to Donna. I saw her on the cruise. She said she is a fan of yours, as well as Pop Rose, but she loves cooking with Alex. It's so crazy to find a Pop Rose fan in Jamaica. The reach, our reach is just...
We are big on the Eastern Seaboard. Very big. And Jamaica, that's our people.
Right.
I feel like New York has such a large Jamaican population and just island population in general that I've always seen Trinidad in the comments, Jamaica in the comments, the Virgin Islands in the comments, Barbados in the comments, Tobago in the comment. I've always seen they put them flags up. So shout out
to Jamaica.
Shout out to Jamaica. Shout out
Montego
to all the
Bay
islands.
Yeah. So I'm in Atlanta right now, y'all. And a lot of people have been asking me, well, I was curious to go to Kandi's restaurant. But as you heard, it was shut down by the health department recently. I'm not sure if it's back open, but now I can't go because I can't get my friends to go because they're like, Chris, I've seen the reviews. They said, Chris, I've seen the reviews, and then it got shut down by the health department. So I can't get them to go. So I don't think I'm going to go, y'all, unfortunately.
Well, I don't want you to go. We just survived a pandemic. Do you really want to risk your health at Blaze? The health department shut it down for a reason. And the truth is, any health inspector will tell you how lax they are when it really does come to safety standards. And I can only imagine how much more lax they are in a place like Fulton County.
We're going to play a shot game, y'all. Anytime you hear Fulton County throughout this episode, you have to take a shot. But I gotta say, to be fair, I've been in the hospitality industry for over a decade, and I've been at restaurants where we didn't get a good score, but they didn't shut us down. But when everyone thinks of a restaurant failing, they think automatically rats and roaches. But for Kandi's restaurant, it wasn't with that. It was just a bunch of little minor things that equated into a big deduction to where they had to shut down.
For me, it's more the unsafe food handling.
It was more so how the food was stored in the correct temperatures and stuff like that. They got a deduction for that.
And do you know what that causes?
Bacteria.
Ptomaine.
Ptomaine, the pain just might drive you insane. From ptomaine, poisoning.
You're right. You're right.
I don't want to get sick from a restaurant. I don't care. I done had a mouse in my house before and my food was still safe. When I lived in New York, not here, but when I lived in New York, everybody, once or twice, you will have an errant mouse. Oh my goodness, you call the exterminator, they come get it, you call the building. That's life in New York uptown. And if anybody tells you any different, they're lying. No matter how nice the building is, a mouse will get in. So, but it doesn't mean that, like, you know, you've got feces all over your kitchen. Like, I could deal with, like, oh, okay, a mouse ran through, or oh, a rat ran through. All right, you're on the first floor. It's the, oh, this food isn't at 40 degrees. And when it's not at 40 degrees, that's when bacteria, bacteria, Yersinia pestis bacteria get together and have a party in your stomach. That's what I have an issue with.
Fair, I see your point. And then they got deductions taken off for like an empty Chick-fil-A cup just sitting. Like, it was like a little, like, those type of deductions. So y'all, unfortunately, I won't be going. And I might try to go to Lenithia Lounge, but I think that's way far out there.
It's in Duluth.
Are you serious?
That's what I heard, that Nene lives in Duluth, Portia.
I won't be going to Duluth for the Lenithia Lounge to eat wings and smoke hookah with. No.
Is that, wait, let's see. Would that be like going from Manhattan to Long Island?
It would be like going to Manhattan to like Jersey, but like maybe Trenton, New Jersey. Well, not Trenton, New Jersey. Not that far. Let me stop. You know what? It's almost like going to Long Island. You're right. It's like the same distance almost.
That's what your face gave. Like, I'm not going out there.
Yeah, Duluth is pretty far. Like, I'm in like the main city right now. But Atlanta is great right now. It's hot, which I love. It's like 80 to 90 degrees out here.
Nice.
Yeah, I walked the Beltline, had a great dinner. Yeah, it's nice. I'm here till Tuesday. But we do have some Fulton County stories right now. So, I saw Kaya yesterday.
I got the text and I just was waiting for the follow-up. And when he said she looked good, I damn near dropped my phone.
Kaya looked good. She had a sissy on each side of her. I just noticed her.
I can't believe it.
I would have took a picture with her, but I didn't notice her till after the fact, because that would have been priceless.
It really would have been. You should
But
have
as much as I've talked about her,
she knows who we are. She knows who we are. I've talked to her before. She knows exactly who we are. That's the thing. A lot of people be pretending they don't know who we are. They know who we are.
It was just so random. I'm like, that's Kaya.
How is it random seeing Kaya in Atlanta?
You're right. You're right.
That's like seeing you in New York.
And feel free to say, hey, y'all, if y'all see me on the street, I don't bite. I'm not mean.
I've definitely enjoyed bumping into people. It was like Thanksgiving and somebody said, oh my God, Alex Rodgers. And I was like, how did you recognize me with the mask on? You're good. So I remember grilling Omaha steaks with my dad on Father's Day out on City Island. And he actually knew how to grill. And I feel like that is one of the skills that is passed down from father to son. Summer is almost here, which also means Father's Day is around the corner. Go to omahasteaks.com and type pop roast in the search bar and order Dad the Get Out and Grill assortment. It includes 20 entrees. He's guaranteed to love ultra juicy burgers, plump chicken breasts, sides, and desserts. 4 10-ounce butcher's cut New York strips. These strips are aged 30 days. And why that's important? Age equals tenderness. Plus 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. These are ultra lean and pack a bold, intense flavor.
Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life. Guaranteed. Visit omahasteaks.com, keyword pop roast, and order the Get Out and Grill assortment today. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience he'll love and can share with you. And don't forget, for a limited time, get 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. That's omahasteaks.com, keyword pop roast. In Fulton County, Akon got his car stolen in Buckhead. Did you hear about that?
I not only heard about it, but the 911 call was priceless.
I did not hear that.
Oh my God. So Akon calls and he's telling them where his car is because he's already called the police and he's been waiting an hour, but he's got LoJack and he's like, my car is in the parking lot of Neiman Marcus right now. And the lady's like, well, how was your car stolen? Was it at gunpoint? And he said, no, I was getting gas and somebody just hopped in the car and drove off. And
he left his engine running.
And he said, sir, that's not, wait, who leaves their engine running while they're pumping gas? Like that's
exactly
like arrest. You know, that was God right there. Everybody should have blown up. Like it's quite no. Like think about it. The force of the car pulling the gas out of the no. We've seen this in movies. It doesn't work. That's not how any of this works. Maybe he had, I would say it's an electric car, but you're putting gas in it, so there's an internal combustion engine in there. No, right. That's what you get for that kind of stupidity. Insurance shouldn't reimburse you for nothing. The case closed, stupidity. Pay everything.
It happened at midnight too. And
he
just left his car running.
I'm also sentencing him to pay Tierra Marie's debt.
He has the money.
Mm-hmm.
So where it happened was the realty. It happened at a Quick Trip on Sidney Marcus Boulevard. I used to live on Sidney Marcus Boulevard when I first lived here in Fulton County. That was right across the street from my apartment. That's a good neighborhood, but it was midnight though. I don't know. I don't get my gas pumped after dark. That's just rule of thumb for me.
So are you telling me that the good neighborhoods turn bad at a certain hour, like Cinderella's carriage into a pumpkin, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a great neighborhood from 9 to 5. They just turn bad at midnight. Just at midnight, you just don't leave the house, like The Purge.
I mean, it's just crazy because I go to that gas station all the time when I live there. That's why I'm like, wow. But just in Atlanta, I wouldn't get my gas pump after dark. That's all. The carjacking's on the rise thing. You just got to be really cognizant of your surroundings these days in Fulton County. That's all.
Here, people don't steal cars. They just break into them.
But if you leave your car running while you're at the gas station for someone to just hop in, I mean, that's on you.
True. I have a question for you. Since you are the music expert, and you've been following artists for years, and you know a bit about the industry. Now, DMX, sadly, his estate is worth between $50,000 and $1 million, which is still grossly low for the movies, the music, the t-shirt. The t-shirts alone, they should have been rich off the t-shirts, but Walmart made their money and he didn't see a cent, but we'll get to that at another time. But why is it that today's artists are just as penniless? Now, we know DMX and the artists of the 80s and the 90s, they got suckered into deals early in the music industry before people knew. But TLC, thank you, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, may you rest in heaven. People have been getting out here, Toni Braxton too, and telling the truth. They're ripping you off. But why are we still seeing new artists fighting with their labels when you already know I'm coming to the table and you're bringing the bullshit? Why haven't things changed? And why haven't the artists demanded more?
When you start out as an artist, you're at the label's beck and call. Like you just want that deal. You know, you're a starving artist and you'll risk signing anything just to get that advance so you can make your music. And I mean, the music business, the music industry is a scam. But those contracts, taxes, as well as ownership, like ownership of your music, like that's what gets everybody. That's why everyone's trying to do independent. But when you're independent, it's just harder.
Ooh, tell that to Tierra, it's harder. Tell that to Khalees, it's harder. Tell that to Carrie. Tell that to carry my bags to the Hilton. By the way, when she brought your bags up, how much did you tip Carrie Hilton?
I tipped her with a Beyonce CD. But I gotta say,
did you give her 4 so that she could get some vocal lessons?
4 is one of my favorite albums. I think I gave that one to her.
Good. 4 was really when Beyonce said, no, I can sing. And she gave us vocal acrobatics. Carrie Hilson gave us, you know, an upgraded version of Carly Rae's Gucci Louis Prada.
But back to ownership and being independent. I mean, Ashanti's independent. She's been doing well. I knew that was going to have that reaction. I knew it.
Okay, what did well? Because I am an Ashanti fan. I feel like Rain on Me should have won a Grammy. I am an Ashanti fan. I like her as an actress. Loved her when she was in the Resident Evil.
Coach Carter?
What?
I think she was in Coach Carter. I'm not sure.
No, she was in a Resident Evil movie and she was really good in that.
Oh, okay.
With Mike Epps, because Mike Epps was in a couple of them too. But I had all 3 of the albums. I had the first one, like I was in the army. That was like the soundtrack to my early 20s. Then chapter 2, that was me leaving the army, becoming an independent adult. Like, and again, like soundtrack to the 20s, moments of my life. The Declaration was when I moved to New York. So I like her, like we've been together through some shit. So I am a true blue fan. And I have been with, like, when she put out that that little independent album on iTunes, the quality was just not there. Like, I don't know what, like, kind of cheaped out. She didn't know what she wanted to do musically either. Like, there was no cohesive sound. And then, like, the little singles she's put out here and there, I'm like, say less, sing less. And I'm your fan, and I'm like, honey, hang it up, hang it up. Hang it up. So I want to know what well she's done. She's done well because she wrote and at least had enough sense to get her writing credits right so that the checks keep coming in. And also she wrote, what, half of J-Lo's catalog and then sang all. So.
But here's the thing though, if she sells 100,000 albums, that all goes to her instead of like record label, this person, producer and stuff like that. That all goes to her. So it's a big risk, but it's a big payout as well.
Well, I guess she got a big payout because she took a minimal risk. That music sounded like some MIDI shit you'd hear back in the school library.
Oh my God. You were listening to Vivica Fox just now?
Yes, because she's out here saying that 50 Cent was the love of her life. Well, I mean, you said you ate his ass, so I guess.
I'm tired of her talking about it. Just let it go. Let it go. Like, y'all are in a good place right now. Let it go. Why does she keep bringing it up?
Well, she did an interview with Vlad TV, and they asked her how they met and why they broke up. And you could have talked about it without calling him the love of your life. I mean, you are still pining after this man who treats every woman he meets and has a child with like absolute fecal matter. And this is the fool you pine after? Somebody who goes after a has-been alcoholic with nothing to offer but bad driving skills like Tierra Marie. You see the vicious, he hates women. And you still are going after it, girl. You know what? You need to get you a sissy that's going to be sweet to you.
Get you an Al Roker or something. I mean, not Al Roker. What's his name? Al Reynolds?
Al Reynolds.
Oh, get you an Al Reynolds or something.
A Darren Noggles.
Who's the one with Will Smith?
A Dwayne Martin.
Yes. Something. Like, you see how 50 Cent treats his son? His son hates him. So that's a reflection of how he is as a person.
Right. I mean, if your own children can't stand you, you must be a piece of shit.
Right. So what are your thoughts on the Potomac Trail?
I was floored. I was blown away. I am so glad we moved on from Monique, but this season, you can tell by the trailer, is Monique's vindication, because Wendy sees the same shit in Gabrice and Gabrisi, and then Candace, somebody else is again physically assaulting Candace because Candace tries it. And Monique's just sitting back in one of her four homes. And just, look, I tried to tell you, but nobody wanted to listen. I'm the evil one. You would have popped that bitch too.
I don't feel any sympathy for Wendy getting backstabbed by Giselle, because they tried to ice Monique out last season. And Wendy was all up Giselle's cooch. So I'm just like, you lay with snakes, you're going to get bitten.
Really. And you were the new girl where playing neutral would have been real smart, but instead you wanted to get with the popular girls and you really thought you were doing something, getting with the green-eyed bandits. And it's like, honey, you hang with divorcees, you just might become one. Misery loves company. And I believe it was Monique who called Gabrisi misery.
Yes. As far as Candace, the new girl throwing food in her direction, I can't wait.
She gave her a salad toss. She tossed the salad in her face. But the trailer looks good. Gabrice giving up on, of course not, for the plot lines in vain. Boom, boom, boom. Is Jamal coming? Of course not. He had time to be on Married to Medical, but he didn't have time to be with you. He had time to be on Love and Hip Hop, but he didn't have time to be with you. He had time to have his own Binder Time stories before Monique, but he didn't have time to be with you. He has time for his outside children, but he doesn't have time to be with you. So, my children, what I'm trying to tell you is, of course not. It was all in vain. Of course not. Y'all getting a whole musical today. I remember Saturday mornings as a kid, I couldn't wait to get up, grab a tasty box of cereal, some cold milk, and sit down and watch some cartoons. Now that I'm an adult, I realize that cereal wasn't the healthiest. But let me tell you about an option that is. With 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, you've got Magic Spoon. Only 140 calories a serving. Keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. Try the variety pack. The flavors are cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. Now, I have to say, I can't pick just one favorite. I have to pick 2, and I will do the cocoa, and then I'll do the fruity. And then I'll do the cocoa, and then I'll do the fruity. Just a little small bowl here or there. The peanut butter is good too, and you can never go wrong with Frosted. It tastes like the cereal from your childhood, but it's super nutritious. Go to magicspoon.com/poproast to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code POPROAST at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/poproast and use the code POPROAST to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode and for the tasty cereal.
They're doing a rematch on Versuz with Swiss Beats and Timbaland.
I can't wait for that.
Once we start doing rematches, is this just something we should say was for the panty?
Well,
because they talk about Lil Romeo and Bow Wow, or Bow Wow versus Lil Fizz, and just it's getting real irrelevant. Where it's like, look, y'all got 2 or 3 songs.
Well, they got too much money from Versuz to end it right now, but I appreciate that Swiss and Tim is gonna do a rematch because I don't think Versuz was a thing when they went up against each other. It was just like a friendly matchup between them. It was before Versuz, so I think they have a bigger audience now so people can see it.
Okay.
Their discography is long, like real long. Like, you know, he did B-Day, Swiss Beats. He did Get Me Body.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew he was big, but I didn't know he did that. That was her good album.
He did a lot of Jay-Z cuts, like a lot of things. I think he did Upgrade You too. But one more thing on Potomac before we move on. Robin isn't getting married this season. Like, she's supposed to be getting married. So
honey,
this was a scam.
I
feel scammed.
On an old Simpsons episode, the teacher once said to Lisa, "You've got a case of the spostas." And that's exactly what Robin has. She's supposed to be rich, supposed to be married, supposedly a heterosexual. A case of the spostas from Rob Dixon. And her husband saying she's not attractive. He's just not attracted to a lesbian. And I can understand that a heterosexual man wouldn't be attracted to or want to be married to a lesbian. You want, her to live her life and be happy and find, the woman that she loves. Juan is being a good man by not getting in the way of that. Let's clap it up for him. Like Portia said, let's celebrate Black men not getting in the way of love. Let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate it.
Well, I can't wait for Potomac. It debuts, I think, in June.
I thought they said July 11th.
Oh, July 11th. It's closer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be in August, but we're getting it really early, so I can't wait. I'm sure it's going to be on Sundays, and Married to Medicine should be done by then.
Married to Medicine is done now, quiet as it's kept.
It was a good episode last week, though. I enjoyed it.
I mean,
Anila's growing on me.
Like a fungus.
I like that Anila is coming into her own because Toya was really treating her bad. Like belittling her in front of all the ladies. Like she finally got a backbone.
That's true. Toya belittles everybody. I mean, she was treating Anila like her husband, just peck, 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 peck.
I don't know why she thinks she's like the queen bee on the show. Like she's really not.
She had to bring in new friends to film with. That's a bad sign when you've got to reach back into the bowels of the cast. I mean, why not call Deshaun Snow, Sheree Whitfield if you're that desperate for camera time? And that means your friends are your plot line. And if Horsey, whatever her name is, and Lisa Nicole Sissy, I mean, these are your friends. These are the marriages you look to. And again, Toya wants to feel like she's the best and the most, so that's why she married her fat husband. That's why she has friends like Lisa Nicole, who's married to Darren Noggles, so she can always feel like, oh, well, my marriage is better than hers, and my life is better than hers, and I don't look like a horse. So that's Toya's thing. Now, again, Toya, I will say the ladies have put Toya down consistently because she is a housewife, and that's her choice. And just because y'all wanted to be doctors and she wants to be a housewife doesn't make her any less. And I do think all those years of just poking at her with that have gotten to her. And she's like, you know what? fuck all y'all, I went to college too. Just because I'm not a doctor doesn't mean I'm stupid. Well, your finances, that's what proves your stupidity, not being a housewife, dear. But the fact that you can't seem to just find $1 million home to be happy, and you always have to get something $6,000 a month out of your reach.
Thank you for that Toya soliloquy. I really appreciate it. Like, I was just like, let him go. Let him read, let him have that Electra read. Oh, speaking of that, did you see that Electra read on Pose last week?
If it weren't for pity, the closest proximity you would have to vagina was birth.
Damn, you are Electra.
I've been saying it for 3 years.
But the only thing left I have to say on Married to Medicine is Quad definitely saved the season. I just think Quad added to it a lot because Simone is boring, Dr. Jackie is boring. I mean, Toya is annoying, like just so annoying. And did you know that, like, I felt like she's really the common denominator. Like, someone pointed out to me that she brought Contessa on the show.
And now she can't stand Contessa.
She has that Kenya Moore syndrome a little bit. Like, she's an asshole. Doesn't take any responsibility.
She is. She definitely is. And also, I think she feels like, oh, I'm pretty and I married a doctor. And it's like, child, you married a doctor, but you married a doctor that's working himself to the bone. You married a doctor where if he drops dead, like, you'll have spent up that little life insurance in a few years. Like, you don't have investments. He doesn't have a practice. He doesn't have businesses. Now, a real woman would find somebody like Heffley, murder her, and then marry Damon, and then you'd actually have something. If you're gonna marry for money, do it right. Do it right. Miranda Richardson taught us in Sleepy Hollow, move the wife into the grave and yourself into the marriage bed. If you're gonna do it, do it. Because then he's a widow, he's weak. And that's when you get him. That's when you get married without a prenup.
Next topic.
Who out here has gotten questionable food advice? For instance, don't eat after 8 p.m. and you'll lose weight. Or if you don't eat anything white, you'll lose weight. If you stay away from breads and grains, you'll lose weight. To be honest, I'm not sure if all of these things are good advice. Maybe for a gremlin with food times, but not for a person. However, Noom knows the answers to all of your food questions. And the answer is psychology. Why Noom? It's not about what you just ate, but about how you eat in general. Noom teaches you about eating, your cravings, and how to build new habits so you can leave misconceptions behind and get intelligent about the food choices you make. Based in psychology, Noom teaches you how to eat to accomplish personal health goals and maintain them long term, because you need knowledge to lose weight, not rules. With Noom, you pick the health goals that are right for you and personalize a weight loss program to help your aspirations become a reality. I know Noom has helped me make proper food choices in a social setting where other people may have different goals. Also, there's ease, empathy, and flexibility. Noom works with my lifestyle, and I didn't have to commit to a rigorous plan, but you see the results.
I mean, so what I love about Noom is it's forgiving because, we're all human, sometimes you go off track, but it makes sure you get on track tomorrow, And basically 80% of Noomers finish the program and over 60% have stuck with their goals for at least 1 year. Now, there's a science to getting healthier and it's called Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/roast. Learn how to eat again with Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/roast. Ready to learn how to live healthier? Sign up for Noom today at Noom.com/roast. Speaking of marriage, do we care that Ariana Grande just got married?
She'll be divorced in 2 years.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna say a year. I'll give it a year.
I agree.
Like, if people want to just ruin their life, I mean, she's rich. She'll be fine.
I'm sure it was a cute, here's $500,000, we'll get married. When you leave, you should have invested that wisely.
Speaking of assets in like divorce and marriage, I was listening to Ebony's talk show, not well, Ebony's podcast, and she said something really like interesting to me. She was talking about spousal support. So, say you marry someone and you just want to take care of them and they don't work, like no matter what, even if y'all like don't have any like a prenup or anything, like they still can like ask for spousal support because they came into the marriage not working.
Right.
I did not know that. As long as they like have at least a job, they can't ask for spousal support.
They can still ask for spousal support if you make significantly more because it's still
Oh.
keeping someone in the lifestyle to which they have become accustomed. Also, it depends on who petitions for divorce. If the husband petitions for divorce, it could be a different set of circumstances. Is it a contentious divorce? Is it irreconcilable differences? Is it alienation of affection? Is it infidelity? All of these things can have a factor on what's allowed to ask for. Are there children? Like if you're both making the same money, then you may not be able to. But if I'm making 500,000 and you're making 40,000 and we're living, you know, on Fifth Avenue in a high rise, vacationing all the time. I mean, look at Khalees and Nas, who also got divorced in New York City, both New York State residents. She ran his pockets. And she was also a celebrity making good money. So I maybe she's talking about normal people, but yeah, you can get your support. Now, both of you making $20,000, no, you ain't gonna get shit. The court gonna be like, no, you fine. But when you got Nas's money, your pockets will get ran.
Well, this is the perfect segue because Erica Mena officially filed for divorce. Is this the second time or third time?
I've lost count. He filed, then she filed. I mean, whenever they want to get some more subscribers to their OnlyFans, they just file for divorce.
And this was in Georgia, but this was Fayette County, not Fulton.
So they don't even live in Atlanta. They live nowhere near Atlanta. Where is Fayette County? It sounds far. What cities are in Fayette County? Because they got that big house, but they must have got it real cheap because it must be next to nothing. Because I know Fulton, I know Gwinnett, but I ain't never heard of Fayette.
Let me look it up right quick. So in Fayette County, it's Fayetteville, Peachtree City, Tyrone, Brooks, and Woosley.
Ain't that a juxtaposition, Tyrone and Brooks? Because that just makes me think of Tyrone and Brooks Marks.
Well, yeah, that's the county they're in. I think this is the final divorce filing. You think there's more?
Well, this is a perfect segue because A1 and Lyrica are going on marriage boot camp. So if you don't think this is, hey, casting, look at me, me. If you don't think this is that, then you've got another thing coming.
Fair enough.
I have a story that I know is going to make you smile.
That's hard to do, but...
Kim Kardashian failed her first law school exam.
That was one of my stories.
Smiled. You smiled.
I mean, I don't find it funny, but the thing is...
I do. One, because she's lying. I spent 6 weeks straight, 10 to 12 hours a day studying. No, you did not with your Instagram commitments and 4 kids. I don't buy it, Heffa.
Well, a lot of people fail the first time, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. But the thing for me is, why is she doing it? Like, she's just trying to prove that she's smart, and she don't have to. She's like, what? She's worth $1 billion now? That's what just like, she doesn't need to do this.
Well, she's bored. She's truly and utterly bored. I can't knock her for pursuing it, but I can laugh at her for failing and telling everybody because I would have kept that shit to myself. You could have kept it to yourself, failed the first time, failed the second time, passed the third time. Ain't no shame in it. Ain't no shame. But because it's you, shame. Shame. Shame.
You're petty.
Well, the Amanda Seales video was almost to 100,000 views, so I think someone else in the room is petty too.
Thank you, pot. Coming from kettle. Thank you. Touche. 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 But yes, hopefully she passes the bar, get her legal license or whatever, and prove to us that she's smart.
At least she's taking on cases that need to be seen. So I can't be mad at her for that. But it's just a little snicker, snort for me.
Okay, fair. I mean, you know I hate that family. So Kelly Clarkson, her show will be taking Ellen's spot. And I've seen Kelly Clarkson's show, like, it came on in like reruns at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, like she performs in the beginning and then she's just so nice.
Why is she trying to be me?
I'm not sure. I feel like Nene right now, Nene moment. Hilarious, right? We make this show rain or shine, y'all. Rain or shine. What were you saying? Sorry, this is too funny. All right, we're talking about Kelly Clarkson's show.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a friendlier version of the Allegedly show. I'll have my lawyers contact her people.
But unlike Ellen, like she's genuinely nice. And she probably treats her staff better. So I can totally see it. And her show is really popular.
Well, that's good to hear. When I heard her singing at the beginning of it, I changed the channel. I gave a Faith Evans. It just reminded me of the variety shows of yesteryear, and I just wasn't in the mood.
She's an amazing vocalist, though, to me. Moving on.
I actually saw her live in concert, and she was very talented, I have to agree.
Thank you for at least admitting that.
She's one of the few people I've seen in concerts. Because I'll tell people in a minute, I don't want to go to my own show. Somebody could say Alex Rodgers is performing, I'd say, oh, good luck.
Did you hear that Terry McMillan got dragged on Twitter?
Yes, because she said, why are celebrities always coming out? I'm like, why didn't your husband? Why didn't your husband? Because you was mad about that for a long time. I mean, I looked at him and I'm like, how did you not know that was family?
Even Oprah said the same thing in a nice way.
I can see the switch in his hips in a still photo.
It was very, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
Yes.
I mean, he looks like his name is Twan. Not Antoine, Twan.
With a twist.
That's a young to middle-aged Billy Porter. Like, that is Billy Porter in all forms of his life. That is Billy Porter as pray tell. That is Billy Porter pretending to be a straight man. Like, that is pure Billy Porter. So I don't know how she, as this seasoned, intelligent writer, couldn't see that, because you know about people when you're a writer. You just decided to play stupid like Teresa. You just said, no, he ain't gay. And just because you say it doesn't make it so.
They dragged her so bad, she deactivated her Twitter.
She needed to, because she said a few stupid things, and I'm honestly tired of her. Maybe she should stick to writing full books and not half-baked ideas or uncooked thoughts.
Not uncooked thoughts.
That was an uncooked thought, because if she had put that on the skillet for 2 minutes, she would have seen, ooh, this is bad.
Right.
She would have realized she was cooking bad meat, but oh no, not her.
Now, did you see if the CW was going to make a live action version of the Powerpuff Girls? And they had that crunchy ass, like them outfits that they had. Like, they had like a shoot. Everyone was roasting it on Twitter. And now, from that backlash, they're re-scrapping the whole thing.
I think the Powerpuff Girls, it's like trying to do a live action Bratz Dolls movie. It's like, no, it's based off of y'all look too weird to be human. Like, they didn't have feet. They just had little fists that like hit the ground. Like, it was, the animation was part of the fun and part of the art. And also, it was a time in the world where we didn't have social media and we didn't know how much everyone was an asshole. So no, we can't go back to that, and you can't recreate the Powerpuff Girls as something live action. The CW continuously comes with one bad idea after another. Once they stopped doing black shows, they went to shit.
Yes, and like
honestly, fuck the CW. Bring back UPN, the black man's friend.
You People's Network. That's what they called it. But yeah, like it was roasted on Twitter, and the script leaked, and it was awful. They made Buttercup. Well, they have them in their 20s, and they made Buttercup like a lesbian. And they had a scene where like she had a girl in her room. I'm like, do we need to do all this? Like, why are we sexualizing the Powerpuff Girls?
Right, exactly. It's not necessary. They could have just brought back the cartoon. How about that? Like the Proud Family. And two, you don't need to age cartoons. Do you know why The Simpsons has worked for damn near all my life? What?
30 years.
30 plus. I think you and The Simpsons are the same age.
Yeah, probably.
It's been that long. They work because they don't age. That's the beauty of cartoons and of storytelling. Sometimes you get to bend the rules of reality so that way you can see these people perpetually in this stage of life. Now that's really what they try to do with the Housewives, and that's why they stay frozen faced with Botox, because they're trying to, give you the same plot line year after year like The Simpsons, but they ain't The Simpsons. They may be as stupid as Homer, but they ain't The Simpsons. They may have the lack of dignity that Marge has, but they ain't The Simpsons. They may be as mischievous as Bob, but they ain't The Simpsons. And on that note, I will see you sooner than I see COVID.
Because of that shot. And I will see you sooner than Erica Mena files for divorce a 5th time. Well, you like wings and ice cream together.
And?
I know.
I mean, if we eat chicken and waffles, so let's not act like a waffle with a little whipped cream or an ice cream scoop on it is that far-fetched. If we do chicken and waffles, there could totally be a little scoop of vanilla. Mint chip ain't that far off. So if we already are having waffles with chicken, fried chicken, really? Mint chip ice cream, that's where we draw the line.
It just sounds like a stomach ache, that's all.
So does chicken, waffles, bacon, and eggs. But we do it every Sunday, don't we? And this episode of Pop Roast was sponsored by Omaha Steak.